Alright, hello lovely people. Today it is September Shop My Stash Day. Again, crazy as usual. All these months have just been flying by. Isn't it literally crazy that the year is almost over? Like 2021 barely even feels like it happened. Like mentally I'm still in 2019, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. I'm just priming using my Makeup Forever mattifying primer, and I'm going to take my L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion, and I'm going to just put this all over my face today. For foundation, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I have the shade F1. I haven't used this foundation in a while, and I really like it. I love the tone. This is like the grossest sound though when I take it in and out, but I really like the tone of this foundation. It's super neutral. And just blend her in. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly do my brows and then come back to do the eyes. Okay, so I am back. My brows are done, my eyes are primed, and I've set my lids as well. Today I want to do something very like fall inspired. I'll put a picture here, but I saw that Grunge 70s Diva on Instagram did this like fall leaf inspired look, and it kind of fell in line with what I had been wanting to do in terms of like playing with the colors and stuff. So I was like, yes, this is my sign that today I want to do something like red, orange, yellow inspired. Not inspired, those are the colors that I'm going to use. And I'm going to use mostly or primarily my Colored Raine Juicy Boost palette because it has all of these warm tones in it, and then I'm gonna pull from a few other palettes, but I'm just first going to start off with the shade Ginger Bay. In here it's like this yellowy mustard color, and I'm just gonna use this as a transition shade. So I'm just gonna bring this all through my crease. I feel like my camera is not at an ideal point. The top of my head is like being cut off, but for right now, for today, we're just gonna have to accept that this is where we're at. Life update, I applied for a job. My master's degree is kind of winding down. I'm still technically like in school, but my thesis is basically written, and everything like for submitting for publishing and stuff is already like in its final stages. So if you're familiar with the academic process, basically you know that I'm not doing a whole heck of a lot right now. And so I was finally like, you know what? I think that I should apply for a job. If I want to, you know, make money, it's kind of the route that I'm supposed to be going down. So I applied for my very first salaried job position. And I only won. So the job hunt is still ongoing, but that was a major thing for me. It's really scary because I feel like I know that I'm qualified for stuff. Like I know, obviously, like I know my stuff in my field, but I feel like I don't know anything. So going into like a workplace and having to like go through the interview process is very scary to me, but I'm really like grasping on to fake it till you make it, and we're just gonna see how she goes. If I was making any sense from YouTube, that might be nice, or social media, but alas, it's just a money pit. But I do it out of love. So on the outer part of my eye, I'm going to take the shade Apple Strawberry. It looks kind of pinky, but it is a red shade. yeah, I'm gonna put this on the outer half of my eye and in my outer corner. I also am so excited for Halloween and for it to be October. I have talked about this before, just like I feel like everyone else also feels the same way, but spooky season, if you will, is my, like, literally my favorite time ever. In my heart, it's always spooky season, but now we all get to embrace it together in a more socially acceptable way. I've been getting like prints and stuff for this room that I film in, and it's spooky season all the time in here, but it just, I'm so excited. And I feel like always October like kind of passes me by, and then I'm like, I didn't even embrace the season as much as I should have. So this year I'm on it, okay? I have a movie month planned for my girlfriend and I to watch a horror movie like every day or almost every day throughout October. And I'm so excited. She is not excited. She does not like scary movies or scary things at all. So sorry to her, but we watch Christmas movies like every day in December. So, you know, we each get our season that the other doesn't really enjoy. But it's compromise. So that's what, you know, carries a relationship through. Just the other person living through a month of movies that they hate. Couple goals. No, but it's gonna be good. I'm excited because she doesn't like watching horror movies. We don't really watch them that much. So I've been like very deprived of them for the past, well, however long we've lived together, like two years. So I'm very amped. That's like the thing that I do when, not that she's ever away, because obviously neither of us are going anywhere, but when I'm by myself, that's what I do. If I'm ever by myself for an evening, I'm like, this is my time to watch a scary movie. I want the front of my eyes to be yellow, but I don't think there's no shade in the Juicy Boost palette that's quite like punchy enough for what I want. So I'm going to take my tried and true Juvia's Place Zulu palette. Ugh. Okay. And I'm going to take the yellow in here and put this in the front half of my eye. I was gonna use something else because I was like, I feel like I always use the Zulu palette in like all my Shop My Stashes, but it's probably my favorite yellow in my entire collection, so it's hard to say no to it. It's the best, and it's a little bit like of a almost deeper yellow, and like it's pigmented, so it kind of brings everything that I want. So I was like, let me just use this. And just blend it together, and it blends so well. It's just the best. I also, speaking of horror movies, I got a free 30-day trial of Shudder. I feel like on some of the podcasts that I listen to, and some people that I watch on YouTube, anyway, like heard advertisements for it. And in theory, it seems like the thing that I would like. It's like basically like a streaming service that's just horror stuff. And oh my god, I can't talk. On their own like site themselves, they only give you a 7-day trial, but I watch Sarah Hawkinson, who runs, well, her own channel. But she, I think, is mostly focusing now on her horror channel, which is Possessed by Horror. If you like horror movies, definitely go check her out. I've been watching her literally since I was like a little baby in high school. I really love her. And she has a code where you can get free trial of Shudder for a month. So I did that. And I've been watching the like Creep Show original series that they have, and I like it. It wasn't what I was necessarily expecting. I feel like I was expecting it to be something like kind of American Horror Story-ish, but instead it's more like Goosebumps kind of feel, like scary stories to tell in the dark, like that kind of thing, where it's just like little anthology shorts, and they're pretty kitschy, like pretty just like fun more than anything. Like I feel like honestly like kids could watch it. It's like not scary at all, but you know, it's very like definitely feels like Halloween-y, gets me in the mood, so I have been enjoying it. I just expected it to be, I think, something different, but it is okay. Maybe kids couldn't watch it, but like I don't know, like it's not scary. It's like adult Goosebumps, I guess, kind of thing. But I have been enjoying it, and I haven't watched really anything else on the streaming service yet, but if you guys have used Shudder, let me know what you think about it. I don't really have conclusive thoughts formed yet, but I would like to know how you guys feel about it. So I want to do like a burgundy through my crease to deepen things up, but yeah, you know what, I am going to use this. So I'm going to take the shade Reckless from the ColourPop Good Sport palette. And I'm just going to use this to deepen my crease up. Hopefully it doesn't pull too brown. No, it'll be good. Okay, this is what I wanted. Good. But yeah, it's enjoyable. I do like it. But I'm very excited. I haven't conclusively made my list yet for all of the movies throughout October, but I'm working on it. Obviously it will have to be done by the 1st, but it's gonna be good. I have a mix of like scary stuff and then just like spooky, like fall Halloween stuff. And then I'm just gonna take each of the brushes that I used for my like main crease colors and just use this to blend that burgundy out. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly cut my crease and then I will be right back. Okay, so I cut my crease and I just blended a little bit more. Now for my lid, I'm going to take, now I desperately seems like maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but if I was just doing this on my own, I'd probably take the shade Lemon Wheatgrass from this palette. It's like such a beautiful like grainy gold. In the interest of shopping my stash and using products that I haven't used in a while, I'm going to take this Tarte Chrome Paint Shadow Pot in the shade Sun Drenched, because I literally can't remember the last time I used this, and it's like a goldy shade, so I figured it will go with the look and I should use the things that I have. So I'm going to take this little guy. This used to be like my favorite product. I thought it was like the most beautiful thing. I've probably talked about this like in my first videos on my channel, which are so embarrassing, but it is really pretty. I just have better indie shadows. So I'm just gonna put this all over my lid. All right, well, I think that definitely is really, it's a pretty gold shade, you know, like you can't really argue with that. I'm going to just quickly blend a little bit more of the red onto my lid just to help merge everything together. Now I'm going to take a little bit more of the shade Ginger Bay, which is just the transition shade that I use, and just blend this over the edge of my shadow just to help everything blend out. Although I've blended things pretty high, so I don't know how much this is really helping. And then I'm going to take the shade Coconut Water from this palette. It's just a matte white shade, and I'm going to use this to highlight my brow bone. And then while we're here and using old things, I'm going to take this Stila Glitter and Glow Liquid Shadow, which is basically almost dry. This is the shade Kitten Karma, and I'm just going to take this. I actually never use this with the applicator. Maybe I'll take just some on my finger. Yeah, it's so dry. That's crazy. I haven't had this for very long at all. You know what? So maybe I just will take it right off the applicator because it's so dry anyway. See, this is just, liquid products are just not, I think, for me. But I use like my single shadows, my single topper shadows. So I don't know what it is about like single like shadow products that I just never use. That's so sad. And these Stila ones aren't cheap either, you know? Like, I don't even think that really made a difference. No. Maybe it put a little bit of sparkle, but like nothing really. If anyone knows of like a way to like add some life back into like these liquid shadows, please let me know, because if I can get a little bit more use out of these, I would really love it, but this is like so dry. If I like stamp this little wand, that makes it a little bit better. So that added a little bit of glitter, I guess, but this is definitely not how it's supposed to work. So concealer, I'm going to take some of this Ordinary, what is that actually called? Just concealer. And use this today, just putting it in all the regular concealer places. And then I'm just going to spot conceal just basically on my chin with my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, just because there's a lot going on down here. And before I powder, I'm going to take my Danessa Myricks Cream Bronzer in the shade Light and use this to bronze. Well, to initially bronze. Now I'm just going to do some powder and then be back to finish up the rest of my face. Alright, I'm back. Now for my lower lash line, I'm going to do orange. So I'm going to take the shade Orange Carrot from the Juicy Boost palette. And I'm just going to run this all along my lower lash line and blend it out. Then I'm going to take some more of that Reckless shade underneath my eyes and use this to deepen my lash line up a little bit. Is this just blending into my top lash line with little to no differentiation? Maybe. Okay, but whatever. It still is like the vibe, I guess, that I'm going for. And then I'm going to take some more Ginger Bay, which was that like yellowy orangey shade that I used as a transition shade initially, and I'm just going to use this to blend it all out. Do you guys have any plans for like fall? Like fall themed plans? We are going, I think, apple picking. We did it last year, like right, I can't remember, it must have been at the end of October, as it was like on the cusp of fall ending, and it was a lot of fun, and we made like lots of apple stuff. So I'm excited to do that again. It was in the middle of nowhere though, and there was, I'm just contouring, by the way, using my Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder in medium. And we showed up at this like fucking middle of nowhere like apple orchard, and then it was like, and basically a parking lot in the woods and then this like Quebecois family just sitting at a table in like the middle of a parking lot in the woods, and we're like, hello. Apples. But you know what, it was mostly just us there when we went, so it was like it was a good time. But yeah, we're gonna do that again. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll carve some pumpkins, I don't know, but there's not really anywhere to put them. Like, if we live downtown in a city, so like if we put them on our stoop, someone would take them almost immediately and or like just smash them. Like, our neighborhood isn't like a wholesome, like, let's just put some jack-o'-lanterns out on our porch, you know. And I'm going to bronze using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I can't tell if this look is like summery or fall, to be honest. I'm gonna spray my face. This is a new spray that I just started using. This is the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. And it is very microfine. For highlighter, I'm gonna use an oldie but a goodie. I'm gonna use the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics Holy Glow Volume 1 highlighting palette. I'm gonna take, for my face, this shade right here, which is called Sunkissed. It's just basically a champagne, a little dark for me, but if I layer it with blush and stuff, I can get away with it. I haven't used this palette in a long time. And then I'm going to take this white shade. This is the shade White Diamond. And I'm going to use this for my nose. And my Cupid's bow. Sometimes I mix the two of these shades, but I guess today I kept them separate. Maybe for my inner corner, I'll go in with this yellow shade here. This is the shade Golden Beam. I'm gonna give that one spray just to make it a little bit more intense. And just layer this on my inner corner. And now for blush, I'm gonna take this, my Colored Raine Blush and Highlighter Duo Improve My Loyalty. I'm gonna use this red one. Haven't used this in so long. And I'm so excited. I feel like I mostly use this in like winter and fall, although maybe it's just because I've been gravitating to a lot of purple and pink this summer. I don't know, but I know this red blush is very controversial. I feel like people love it, like me, or they think that it makes me look rashy and not great, and people have opinions on that. I respect it, but I love it. Personally, I love it. Personally. So now I'm just gonna do some freckles using my Freck. And then I'm just gonna run through my brows with some brow gel. This is the Essence Make Me Brow. I have the shade Soft Brownie Brows. And then I'm just gonna take a black. This is my Pat McGrath Single Black in the shade Dark Matter. And I'm just going to use this to deepen up my outer corner. And then I guess I'll also show this because this is typically something that I do at the end as well. I'm just gonna take the shade Ginger Bay, which was that transition shade that I used in my top and bottom lash lid, whatever, eye. And then I usually just blend that all along my like lower lash line just after I've done my blush and my freckles and stuff, just to make sure everything's like really blended into my face. And then I'll also take it just in like the outer part of my shadow just to like blend it into my temples a bit more. Okay, and so this is the finished look. I feel like, does it look more summer than fall? I don't know. It's like bright fall. It's fall tones, but like brighter. I don't know. On my lips, I used the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Sandstorm. Obviously, I used a little bit of Endless Cacao in the center, and then I used my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow. Because I felt like I had a lot going on in the rest of my face, I wanted maybe something a little bit subtler for my lips. And I just used the ColourPop liner in the shade Venus on my waterline just to pull some more of that red tone in. And yeah, that's it, you guys, for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I always love filming these Shop My Stashes, and I hope that you guys enjoy watching them as well. Have a great October. I'm sending everyone all the most joyous, spooky, cozy Halloween vibes. All of them are going out to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.